Hi, you're watching Teen Kids News. I'm Reed. Let's begin with our top story.
This report is brought to you by at the Skills Jam.
With college becoming even more expensive, many high school students are asking, is there another way to get a great career without being saddled with tons of debt? The answer is yes.
They build the farmhouses and the skyscrapers. They keep the machines running on roads, on water, and in the air. They provide the countless services that we depend on each and every day, from basic needs to entertainment. They are the nation's skilled workers. Without skilled workers, our world would come to a grinding halt. Scary as that sounds, listen to this. Skilled workers in our country are disappearing. That's creating what's called the skilled labor gap, meaning there are more jobs available than there are skilled workers to fill them. And that is setting off alarm bells. To explain the problem, as well as the solution, we're once again joined by Mark Hedstrom. He's the executive director of the Skilled Careers Coalition. Welcome back, Mark.
Thank you for having me back.
Great to have you. So, just how serious is the skilled labor gap?
Well, when you talk to people in industry, as we've been doing for the last couple of years, the number really hovers around 6 million unfilled skilled labor jobs right now. So that's what the skills gap is that there's more demand out there for skilled workers and skilled trades than there are people actually filling those roles. So one of our challenges is how do we approach that gap that we all see and start talking to younger students about the opportunity that skilled careers presents.
Why is it happening?
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to, in a lot of cases for a number of years, over the course of 20 or 30 years, we've been talking about two options for young students. One is the military and the other is a 4-year degree. And we haven't really focused on that third opportunity, which is equal to those two, which is a skilled career, going to a technical school, learning a trade, as they're often called.
What can be done to get more teens interested in skilled jobs?
It's not a either or, it's a yes and. So yes, there are people who are going to pursue a career in the military. Yes, there are people going to pursue 4-year degrees. And yes, there should be people pursuing a skilled career. So a lot of work at the Skilled Careers Coalition with some of our partners like Skills USA and the American School Council Association is focusing on how do we create content by youth for youth.
One way to do that is through Skills Jam.
Welcome to Skills Jam.
I'ma take it to the top.
Where skills, passion, and ambition collide.
It's a nationwide competition, as well as a series of motivating videos designed to show high school students the many opportunities available in skilled careers.
So a lot of our work on Skills Jam is talking to young students who are in these career paths and asking them to talk about their passion, what they love about their job, and showing their actual skill on camera. And we present Skills Jam through YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok because we know that's where students are consuming information.
Speaking of TikTok, we're being joined by one of its popular influencers. Destiny Simone Adams has an impressive resume. She's run workshops ranging from the basics of soldering to robotics. And besides being a skilled engineer, you're also an artist. You create tech that's not only wearable, but interactive. How cool is that?
Thank you. Yes, I have a very strong hope for all things related to STEAM. For those who don't know, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So I find a way to do all those different mediums and kind of intertwine them into one big project whenever I can.
That sounds pretty cool. How did you get started in engineering?
I got started by simply breaking things apart and putting them back together at a young age, early on, 7. Having big desktop with PCs, computers, and things malfunction, and my peers giving me the free range to take it apart and figure out how to put it back together. And that's when I started discovering STEM career fields. There's very niche careers that you can get into that doesn't require a whole lot of schooling. And then through a lot of research and trial and error and exposure, I was able to learn, well, it's electronics for me. It's robotics. It's mechatronics. It's those things that move, that gets me excited, that gets me really passionate and really driven about technology and the direction we're going.
You mentioned the term mechatronic. What does that mean?
So if you think about robots or autonomous vehicles like self-driving cars, or if you think of humanoids like Tesla robots, all of those things are encompassing mechatronics, things to do with moving parts and electronics.
Got it. Skilled career jobs generally don't require a degree from a 4-year college. These skills can be learned at a 2-year community college, trade school, or even on the job. So Mark, besides not amassing a lot of college debt, what are other advantages of taking the skilled trades route?
Yes, it's the debt. That certainly is a factor for a lot of students and their families to think about, but it's also 4 years of work. So I think there's a real opportunity not just to think about just the economic challenges that occur with a 4-year degree, but also the opportunity to get out in the workforce quicker, right? To earn money and to start down your pathway of applying your trade. I think that's a great opportunity for a lot of students to consider because it's quicker out the door and you have a greater opportunity to start working when you get the chance.
What skills are in the most demand today and in the near future?
So some of those traditional trades a lot of people think about, those are in high demand, industrial work, all the way through to construction, manufacturing jobs. So you're thinking about how do you build cars, how do you manufacture different materials and equipment that exists out there, through to what Destiny spends her time in, which is really focusing on mechatronics and what's coming, or robotics and automation.
How about earnings? Can you make a good living?
From construction workers to automated service techs to diesel engine techs. There's a lot of opportunity out there, and there's a lot of great careers. So coming out of high school and then doing an accreditation program, you could be out at 20 making $60,000 as a plumber. And that's a great opportunity for someone that young.
Yeah. Destiny, to those teens who are watching and wondering what career path to take, what advice would you give?
I would say explore. Give yourself a lot of grace to explore everything. Try new things. Don't be afraid to fail. Failing isn't anything but your first attempt in learning. So do it a second time. If you don't like it after the second time, okay, you can make an informed decision that maybe this isn't for me. But you never know what you won't like until you try it at least 2 times. That's my piece of advice.
That's great. Anything to add, Mark?
I mean, she said it amazingly well. I would say, be intellectually curious and explore, right? You have an opportunity when you're younger to look at all the different things you might be interested in and take a look at them. I didn't know that I was interested in this, and wow, there's all these opportunities in terms of the types of jobs I could be doing. So that curiosity and exploration is incredibly important, to Destiny's point.
Ask questions, make connections. People will be your biggest resources. So be kind to other people as well. You never know when you'll need them.
Certainly great advice. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been said that in every crisis, there's an opportunity. And Skills Jam is working to make teens aware of that opportunity. Through young influencers like Destiny, as well as through videos and high-energy special events.
Step inside the most exciting competition you've probably never heard of. The National Skills USA Championships, where thousands of students from across the country flock to Atlanta every year, hoping to be recognized as the best in their craft. From culinary and cosmetology to construction and robotics, these students are carving out their futures with their own hands.
Skills Jam is getting the word out that 4-year colleges or the military aren't the only paths to a well-paying career and job satisfaction. To find out more, check out skillsjam.com. And here's a timely reminder for those of you interested in seeing if a job in the building trades is right for you. Every October, America celebrates Careers in Construction Month. This nationwide campaign aims to encourage teens to learn about the many and varied opportunities in the construction industry. A career in construction is just one of the many great ways to build a rewarding future. For Teen Kids News, I'm Alexandra.
We've got lots more coming up in the show. During this commercial break, take a minute to like, follow, and subscribe to our socials so you never miss out on Teen Kids News. We'll be right back.
Many years ago, there was a game show host who hated to see a contestant not win anything. Wanting to leave the contestant with at least some money, the host would famously ask an easy question: who's buried in Grant's tomb? It's surprising how many people had no idea. Think about it for a moment. Who's buried in Grant's tomb? It's called Grant's tomb because it's the final resting place for Ulysses S. Grant, Civil War general for the Union Army. He accepted General Robert E. Lee's surrender in Appomattox, Virginia, effectively ending the war between the North and the South. Grant would later go on to become the 18th President of the United States. However, simple as this question is, the answer isn't quite as simple as you'd think. Some people who are sticklers for precise accuracy point out that Grant's coffin isn't underground, but on a pedestal in his tomb, in a coffin next to his wife. Therefore, the word experts argue that Grant isn't buried, he's entombed. So back to that supposedly easy question, who's buried in Grant's tomb? The literal answer is nobody. And since we're splitting hairs, those same word experts will point out that Grant isn't really in a coffin, but in a sarcophagus. But that's an argument for another report. With this report, I'm Caris for Teen Kids News.
The moor frog is pretty cool. Thanks to a chemical compound in its body called cryoprotectant, the moor frog can be frozen solid and then defrost and be perfectly fine. Like I said, pretty cool.
We've got to take a short break, and then we'll be back with more Teen Kids News. It probably won't surprise you to hear that teens spend a lot of time online. So we need to up our game when it comes to cybersecurity.
Why do you go online?
For entertainment, but also to learn.
I use the internet for looking up things for like projects or researching things for school.
So I can connect with my friends, play games with them, talk to them.
I love to shop online. I think I'm a shopaholic. It's kind of a bad habit of mine, but I love shopping online and just like seeing like all this variety of stuff that I probably can't see in person. You know, there are some downsides, like when you shop for clothes online, it's not always exactly what you expect it to be, but I really love shopping online.
To keep myself occupied, honestly. Catch up what everyone's doing on social media. Kind of nosy.
Aren't we all? Anyway, clearly the internet is great for keeping us connected, for keeping us entertained, and for helping us keep up with schoolwork. For all the good it can do, it can also expose us to criminals who want to steal our personal information. So how can we avoid that? Let's ask Kayla Joyce. She works at FTI Consulting, where she advises organizations on cybersecurity matters. Most of us already know not to open emails from senders we don't recognize. But that's getting harder to avoid, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You used to be able to just look at the email address that sent you the email, or to skim it for typos or your name being left out. But at this point, the cyber criminals have become really innovative with their tactics to target you, and they create and add pressure to you to get you to click on links or provide them additional details about yourself.
It sounds like it can be really tough to determine what's legit and what's a scam. What advice do you have?
Always be super vigilant about what you're putting online. Be aware of what you're posting on your accounts, and make sure that you're using complex passwords and not just the name of your parents or your dog, and that you're adding special characters and additional length to make them harder to guess.
So, what are some of the things we do without realizing that could put us at risk?
A lot of us like to have public accounts online on social media to make it easier to connect with and interact with our friends and family. But doing so also lets everything you post on there be visible to anyone on that app. It's not really an issue until you think about the things that might be behind you, such as your address, or let's say you take a picture in your kitchen and there's some mail open on your counter. They can zoom in on those things and be able to access different details about you or your family. Even furthermore, if you post when you're on vacation, now they know where you are and that you're not home. These are all things that we do without realizing and without really taking into consideration how they can impact us going forward.
What about shopping online? Are there any dangers there?
Yes, there are. Right now, there's a lot of fake websites out there offering popular products for discounted prices. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. The best case scenario is you're getting a cheap knockoff product, but the worst case is that you've just given your personal information and credit card number to a cyber criminal. It's always good to go to the website directly and to not follow any links that you may have gotten in your email. If you're nervous, just have your parent come check. It's always a good idea.
How did you become interested in cybersecurity?
Well, when I was younger, I actually really didn't have an interest in computers or cybersecurity. It wasn't until I was studying for my undergraduate degree in information systems that I had the opportunity to take a class on cybersecurity. And what really piqued my interest is how do we stop these criminals from stealing our information online? Now I have the chance to work with businesses and help them avoid these risks and threats, and to help them better protect the information that they do store. For any young kids out there, I just want to say that this is an excellent field. There are so many different areas to get involved in. And I didn't see a lot of girls like me working in cyber when I was starting these studies. So I just want to encourage any young girls out there to keep an open mind and to look into the options, because there's a lot of different ways that you can make an impact.
Good point. Cybersecurity is one of the country's fastest growing careers. Thanks for talking with us, Kayla.
Thank you for having me.
Scammers like to target teens because they believe teens don't take hacking seriously. Trust me, if you get hacked, it can be serious. For Teen Kids News, I'm Katarina.
If you like our program, drop us a short email to let us know what you like. Be sure to include your first name and your hometown or city. Then keep watching and you might see your message in an upcoming show. There's still more to come on today's show, so stick around. Teen Kids News will be right back.
It's time to play words. Pick out what's true from among the false definitions. Start with this word, bipartisan. It means either an actor who plays both male and female roles, representing or supporting two parties, or an artist who uses only black and white paint. Bipartisan means representing or supporting two parties, as in, the candidate received bipartisan support because she was the only one running.
Yay!
How about this adjective? Preemptive. It means either ready to be emptied, pertaining to the geologic era between 2 and 3 million BC, or acting to prevent or replace something that is expected. Preemptive means acting to prevent or replace something that is expected. I thought my classmate might cheat, so I covered my paper as a preemptive measure.
You filthy, rotten stinker.
And how about porous? Full of holes or pores? Continually flowing, or needy, as in pour us. Porous means full of holes or pores. Get plenty of calcium, or your bones will be thin and porous. To review, bipartisan, representing or supported by two parties. Preemptive, taking action to prevent something that is expected. Porous, full of holes or pores. And that's word for this week.
It's time for another important message from the National Road Safety Foundation.
Whose road is it?
It's my road.
Whose road is it?
It's my road.
Whose road is it?
My road.
Whose road is it?
My road.
Stop. This isn't your road. This is our road. And we need to share it.
Whose road is it? Everybody's.
Don't miss the other cool videos created by the NRSF. It's easy to find more. Simply like, follow, and subscribe to the National Road Safety Foundation. We'll be back with more Teen Kids News right after this.
It was one of the strangest disasters ever. In 1919, a 40-foot-high wave of molasses swept through Boston's North End, causing death and destruction. The syrup was being stored in this giant tank when it suddenly exploded. More than 2 million gallons of molasses rushed down the street, slamming into Boston's elevated railway like a battering ram. The tidal wave of thick syrup destroyed buildings and drowned pedestrians. Hundreds were trapped in the sticky goo. 21 people died. Molasses is mostly made by refining sugarcane. That creates a dense liquid with about the same consistency as honey. Like honey, molasses is used to sweeten foods. After years of investigation, it was finally determined that the company was at fault. They had taken shortcuts in building a tank. What is known as the Great Molasses Flood led to improvements in safety codes that are still used today. For Teen Kids News, I'm Mason.
That's it for this edition of Teen Kids News. Thanks for watching. See you again next week.